What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from Nick of Time Show. Here giving you that Knicks talk just Nick of Time. And as you can tell, I've changed locations. I'm no longer in my house. So shout out to Fritz for holding it down, running the show from his spot. We're going to talk about the Knicks win, man, because the Knicks stopped a 2-game losing streak and beat the Milwaukee Bucks 121-116. And we had a lot of contributors tonight. Jalen Brunson. I mean, hold on. Miles McBride, first of all, gives you 15 points and 5 rebounds. Jalen Brunson was a plus 28 on the night and gave you 15 points, 9 assists, and 1 steal. OG Anunoby played that defense, give you 14 points and 5 assists and 6 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks from the OG Anunoby. Josh Hart gives you 11 points. And Cat, they came in and did not play, gave you 32 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists on the night. The Knicks actually did a really good job on the boards tonight. They actually out-rebounded the Bucks 34-30. They got 21 points off of turnovers, and they defeat the Bucks, who actually played last night. The Bucks played last night, and we were able to take advantage of that and beat them today. So we're going to talk about it all, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's a lot of good. And as Knicks fans, as a franchise, and the players as well, who've been on the road for all this time, needed this win just for our morale, just for our psyche. So I'm happy to talk about this Knicks win, and let's get to it. All right. So first and foremost, I wanted to talk about, before I even talk about the game, before I even do that, let me just shout the chat real quick for rocking with me. Shout out to the chat, man. Gotta love the KO Cheat chat. He's always coming here day after day, win or lose. Shout out to Knicks Nation TV, Gregory Lee, and the Grill. Shout out to best mod in the game, Fritz Alessandor. And everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. I see you SK over here at the top as well. Let's get to it though. Let's get to it. He talked about how this game or these Knicks are still trying to figure it out. And this was an encouraging step in the right direction in the progress of figuring out. And everything begins and ends to me with our two best players, Cat and Jalen Brunson. We go as those two guys go. Jalen Brunson, to me in particular, had one of his best impact games of the season. Didn't really score well, but like I said in the intro, scored 28 points. Scored 28 points and was able to find Cat more fluently in the spots, whether it was a wraparound pass when Cat was going to a hole, whether it was a drop-off pass when Cat was out coming to the hole being a trailer as Jalen Brunson was driving, or if he was just finding Cat open for three on his pick and rolls. Not even pick and rolls, pick and pops. To me, Jalen Brunson, to me, this is probably his best passing game. I feel like Jalen must have been reading the internet. He must have been perusing the internet or looking at game film because it just made it seem like he made a concerted effort to just pass the rock for like pretty much most of the game. He took 7 shots, I believe, in the first half altogether. Didn't shoot well, but really just concentrated on penetrating the kick. And one of the biggest things I really noticed that he has been working on was finding Cat at the top of the key on that 3-point line. So because he's been missing him a lot of times with that pass when Cat screens his man and they follow Jalen to the rim. He misses Cat a lot. This time he hit Cat every single time. And Cat was able to take advantage of that. And to me, that pass and that look is what opens up an offense more. Like that's that particular pass is what makes the 5-out offense so dangerous. So Jalen Brunson really has to get used to making and seeing that pass. And now, for guards, it's kind of weird making that pass because it's like to make it accurately, sometimes you might kind of have to stop, turn around, and pass the ball, which isn't really supernatural for him. So Jalen has to get used to that. Also, he has to get used to just playing with the center who's as versatile as Cat is. Today, it seemed like he did those things and was able to get Cat the ball in the spots. And not only that, Brunson played really good defense too. He's played really good defense. He was all quiet as kept defensively this season in general. I really liked what Jalen Brunson is giving to me. He actually looks better on defense this year than he did even last year, which is interesting to see. So, love what I'm seeing from Jalen Brunson so far, and it's the start that he had to this game. Um, Kind of rolled off onto the start of Cat's game, which kind of brings me to Cat. Cat said in the beginning, I mean, actually in his post game, that he made a concerted effort to start this game quickly. And he was facing a guy in Brook Lopez who's older, who's slower, who's a big center, really has zero chance keeping up with that. Like, there's nothing that man can do against him. And it showed. Cat ended up scoring 27 points in the first half. A lot of those were just standstill threes. Brook Lopez just does not have the foot speed to kind of close out on the speed that Cat that is required to play Cat defensively. And even if he decides to try to close out, Cat's speed difference is just so much larger than Brook. He's able to blow by him with ease. And so it's like he was able to shoot from three, he was able to get to the rim, he's able to the post, and just that confusion, just the gravity that Cat was giving us, allowed Cat to give us 5 assists. He even had a nice assist to Jalen Brunson for a layup. So offensively, really, really, really nice work from Cat. Offensively this season, Cat has been as advertised. He's been as advertised. He's been shooting over 50% from three and the field this season, 90% from the free throw line. The Cat offensively has been a godsend for the Knicks. It's just the defense with Cat. Today wasn't a day where we had to worry about the defense, honestly, because the matchup. The Bucks really don't run a lot of pick and roll between Dame and Brook Lopez. Keeps Cat and Jalen Brunson out of foul trouble. It keeps them out the pick and roll situations and allows our wings to take over defensively. I think that's a big reason why we saw the defense perform as well as they did. Held the Bucks to under 100 points. It's the fourth time this season we've held a team to under 100 points. So you just start to notice a theme. When we don't have to play high volume pick and roll defense, the Knicks play well defensively. When Cat's involved in a lot of pick and roll defense, that's when things get in trouble. Today, the matchup gods were gracious to us, and we were able to take advantage on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. Also, I like to point out about the rebounds. The rebounds was a huge difference. We haven't really been able to rebound this season that well. I'm not even sure if I rebounded any team this season, let alone get a decent amount of offensive rebounds. And when I'm looking at these box scores and I'm noticing, okay, OG Anunoby has 6 rebounds, which for OG Anunoby is actually pretty good because he's not a big rebounder, even though he's supposed to be, power forward. That's not his game, but he has 6 rebounds. McBride had 5 rebounds at the guard spot. And then you take a look at Josh Hart. Josh Hart also had a big rebound in the game. I think he had like 7 rebounds. Let me see. What's that say for Josh Hart? Josh Hart had 7 assists and 9 rebounds himself. So it's obvious to me that Tibbs did not like what we saw from the rebounding aspect of the game for these last few games. And those extra rebounds and extra turnovers actually ended up giving us extra possessions. So, like, now that it's all coming together now because now we're shooting well, we're shooting a high percentage, and on top of that, winning the possession game. It bodes well. That's the recipe for wins for these New York Knicks. That was our staple last year. It would be great to see that return. And it's going to be more plausible for that to return full time when Mitchell Robinson returns. But when he's out now, it's going to have to be gang rebounds. It's going to have to be gang rebounds from our guards. It's going to be asking OG Anunoby not to just be the defensive dynamo that he is, but also help out on the boards as well. And Josh Hart do Josh Hart things. And I have to commend Josh Hart. I said the last game or the last two games, Josh Hart has been matched up with these big, long power forwards who kind of physically outmatch him. So he hasn't been getting the rebounds that he can get, and I can't really blame him all the time because he's a power forward that's 6'5". So that doesn't always work out to your advantage when it comes to rebounding aspect of the game. He usually just has nose of the wall, beats people to the loose balls, and that's how he gets a lot of his rebounds. He hasn't been able to do that as of lately. Today, he's playing defense against Giannis Antetokounmpo for long stretches, and he's able to get 9 rebounds a day. So that's a big reason why we had a rebound advantage today. So shout out to Josh Hart, who's able to get 9 rebounds, and shout out to Knicks, who won the possession game today. Okay, Knicks shot 91 field goal attempts to the Milwaukee Bucks 83 field goal attempts, and that's because of the offensive rebounding and the turnovers. When you can control those aspects of the game, the small things, the things that Tiz preaches, you can win games. You can win more games. You don't have to play perfectly on the offensive end if you're getting extra possessions. And the Knicks did that, and it's a big reason why we win this game. We just need to keep that up. We just need to keep that up. So good job by these Knicks doing what they have to do, playing the offensive possession game and the rebounding game, and playing phenomenal defense today. Shout out to the chat too. Shout out to people who's joining me a little bit later. Shout out to Picks for Timmy. Josh Hart is a dog. Yeah, Josh Hart has been quiet as kept. He played well today. He played well today. He shot 1 for 1 from 3, and he was very effective attacking the closeouts today. Even though he was getting run off the 3-point line, he was able to kind of convert that into twos, and even finding extra teammates once he gets those paint touches. And that's the thing with Josh Hart. Like Josh Hart sometimes gets into the paint and he looks to pass too much, or sometimes he's in too tunnel vision. Today, I feel like he found that perfect balance of I'm going to the paint and I'm shooting it, or I'm kicking it out. So really, really good game by Josh Hart today. Shout out to Jean Mark. I see you in the chat. Shout out to Amazon. He says I was impressed with the assist and the ball movement. Absolutely. The Knicks had 19 assists today. 19 assists in the first half, which is 2 away from their record. It really means the ball was moving, and Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns set the tone. They absolutely set the tone with the way they moved the ball. And it's funny because even though the fan base in general, they've been very critical of the lack of ball movement. And rightfully so. We've kind of been in the bottom of the league in assists, but at the same time, he's also had multiple 30 assist games. So we're still kind of finding our equilibrium here. When we're playing switching teams, we have a tendency not to pass the ball as much. So these teams that don't switch as much, like the Bucks, because they don't have the personnel, you're going to see a lot of high assist games. When we're playing these switching teams, you might see the assist dip a little bit because we're kind of relying more on ISO. We're going to have to find the synergy and figure out how to pass the ball more when we're playing these switching teams. And hopefully, as time goes on, we'll be able to find ways to do that. But today, passing the ball was definitely not a problem. Jalen Brunson really did a good job setting the tone early, giving a lot of passes to Karl-Anthony Towns. He even gave the ball to Sims under the rim, and I saw a Sims post up today. A Sims post up, so he did a really good job. So offensively, sky's the limit for this team, man. Offensively, sky is still the limit for this team. There's still some things that we can tap into. Like we can still grow our offense moving forward and add more wrinkles. We can still utilize Mikal Bridges differently than how we've been using him. Mikal Bridges had 17 points today, but shot awfully. My hope is that he does not shoot like that the entire season. We find better ways to use him. Maybe initiate the offense a little bit more. Maybe uh, uh, and have Jalen Brunson off ball sometimes. Maybe give him more shots in the corner where it seems like that corner three is automatic for him. Mikal Bridges is shooting has the highest 3-point percentage shooting in those corners. But to me, we're playing great offensively. Defensively, we still have room to grow. Um, and But even offensively, there's still some wrinkles that we can implement because there's still some players in that starting. I'm like, all right, we can tweak you and have you play better. We can tweak you to have you play better. One thing that we tweaked today that we saw that worked well for us was Jalen Brunson passing the ball to Cat in the spots a lot more fluently without thinking. And the other part of this offense is going to be how we use Mikal Bridges moving forward, so he's not just stuck in the corner, but involved in the offense. Uh, but there was another wing I actually want to talk about, which is OG Anunoby. When I'm looking at this game and how we won, you gotta give it up for OG. You have to. Today showed me why he got the money he did. Even if you didn't know why he got the money he did, today shows you why he got the money he did. Blew up a lot of passes, caused a lot of havoc and turnovers, was able to guard both Giannis and Damian Lillard effectively. Damian Lillard in particular, OG, woo, he made it a long night for Damian Lillard. He scouted that man. He scouted Damian Lillard because you already know Damian Lillard is a guy who can go off from the 3-point line. OG Anunoby scouted that dribble, step back, 3-point shot move that Dame likes to do. He scouts that perfectly, uses his length perfectly, and he kept him off the 3-point line. I think Dame only shot like 1 3 for the entire game. And you got to credit the Knicks defense, OG Anunoby's defense, and the team defense. Uh, Today, OG earned his money the way he played defense, and he hit some threes as well. So I feel like when it comes to how he played and who was really important in this win, you gotta go Jalen Brunson, you gotta go Karl Anthony Towns, and third, I don't know if we win this game without OG Anunoby's defense because his defense was really stood out to me today. Off the plate, phenomenal for sure, for sure. So a shout out to OG. OG had 14 points, 2 blocks, 3 steals, 6 rebounds. Didn't even shoot well. Didn't even shoot well. 1 from 8, 4 from 12. But defensively, his impact was felt. And even stayed in the game when he had some foul trouble and was still found a way to be effective in foul trouble defensively. So yeah, OG Anunoby for sure. Loved this game today. Might be overlooked for some Knicks fans if you're not paying attention to what's going on outside of just scoring. All right. Salute to the chat. Shout out to George Jones. I see you who says salute. Shout out to Knicks Nation TV who's joining us as well. Shout out to you. Shout out to President the Boss and everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. I'm doing a show solo dolo today. If you like this show, hit that like and subscribe. We're here after every game talking Knicks basketball. Usually I got my crew with me. Don't have the crew today. But it's okay. I got this. I'm gonna hold it down for the team. We're gonna talk Knicks basketball and we're gonna celebrate this win because the Knicks absolutely needed this win. After 2-game losing streak, getting this one was crucial, and we got one. We got one, and I didn't expect anything less because the Knicks, since Jalen Brunson has been here, doesn't lose in a lot of games in a row. Point blank period. Point blank period. So good to see the Knicks back in the win column. Now, let me get into something else. Let's get to it. Regularly says Bridges needs to anchor the second unit until we have enough defense to get by in the first unit. Are you saying that Bridges needs to be on the bench, or he just saying he just needs to anchor the second unit? I feel like you're just saying he needs to play with both units. I think that's what you're saying. I think that's what you're saying. Um, but I agree with that. I kind of feel like what Tom has been doing, he's been utilizing either Cat or Brunson as the main cog with the second unit. Um, I thought it was gonna be more Bridges, but that's the way it's been, and I'm not really mad at it. I'm not really mad at that, but I still feel like we still need to find more touches for Bridges. And maybe that second unit might be the way to get him more touches or unlock his post game that we saw versus the Pacers. Uh, Picks for Timmy says he already does. Yeah, like today he did play with the second unit for sure. Um, but I want to talk more about the second unit, and I want to talk about kind of a debate that me and Lee has been having since the beginning of the season. And that's Tyler Kolek, man. Tyler Kolek, I really like his game. Defensively, yes, he needs work defensively, but I've actually seen strides from Tyler Kolek defensively from last week to this week. He played 15 minutes today, had 8 points. He hasn't really missed from three. I think he's shooting something like 66% from three. He went like a 3-4 game stretch where he didn't miss a three at all. It's really just defensively he has to lock in. And I've noticed a growth from Tyler Kolek on that end of the ball. And and I think if he keeps progressing, I think we would have to. I think we have to consider him getting more minutes in the second half of the season, whether people are healthy or not. It's just interesting to see, like watching him play. He just seems more steady already. And granted, this is very early. This is only like 3 or 4 games where he's getting the minutes. Campaign has a hamstring injury, so he might be out a couple of weeks. While he is out, this is a good time for Tyler to get some reps and see if you can force Tom's hand. And as long and one part of forcing Tom's hand is hitting those threes. You know, when McBride and Emmanuel quickly were in a similar situation, they weren't even hitting the threes at the clip he's hitting it, and quickly came in as like a 3-point shooter. So the fact that he's been hitting his threes already as a rookie hasn't really shown fair. Stepped into his threes too, and is ready to fire within the flow of the offense has been great. Um, and Tom has kind of been using an off ball with McBride. If you're able to use him on ball too to unlock his passing, that's going to be even greater. But I'm really keeping an eye on these Tyler Kolek minutes moving forward to see how he progresses defensively and to see if that steady offense continues. Because, like I said, I've always said I've liked Campaign in his different stops. I like him in Phoenix. I like them on the 76ers. He's a heady guy. He plays defense tenaciously, and the defense has been keeping him on the floor for sure. Tyler Kolek already as a rookie, these 4 games seems a lot more steady. We need more information, though. He needs more minutes, but he's very promising. Even if he does not get minutes this season, he's definitely getting minutes next season with Campaign's contract expiring. But it will be interesting to see what Kolek can do this season if given the time, because dude is just a gamer. He's just a gamer. He's just a gamer. And it's funny because like me and Lee, we talked about uh Kolek. I feel like we had that talk about how Tibbs doesn't play rookies. It's a championship squad, and he prefers vets. I get it. That's been his MO. But the times I feel like I've seen people sneak into the rotation are times when players are injured. So it's funny when we were talking about whether Kolek would play or not. My scenario of how he would play, how he would get into rotation is if a player gets injured and he starts to get comfortable, it might make the decision harder moving forward if he gets comfortable for real. So no one likes injuries. I like our players. I like everyone to be healthy. But now that Cam is injured, this is his shot. I want to see how he takes this, how seriously he takes this. If he can take this, if he can take this job, because Kolek's a player, man. He's a player. And even if he gets more on ball reps, you start to see the assist year rack up. Yeah, Kolek did miss a three today. Picture Timmy says, I think he's a year out, and I haven't seen any consistency. Just turnovers and bad defense. Those threes mean nothing to me. Mm, Picture Timmy, do you think his defense was bad today? I didn't think his defense was particularly bad today. Maybe it is me. Maybe I missed something, but I didn't think his defense was particularly bad today. I feel like his defense has been improving, if anything. Uh, Knicks Nation TV says Tibbs got to realize Sims' interior defense is terrible. Actually, I gotta disagree with you, man. I feel like Sims played defense today. I feel like Sims played well today, honestly. And Sims, when I say Sims played well, Sims is not a scorer. He's not going to drop 10. He's Sims has to play defense and rebound. That's all Sims has to do. I feel like he did play defense well today. Knicks Nation says Kolek's defense has been okay. Yeah, I feel like his defense is okay today. Fritz says Sims getting minutes. Gotta see if he has any trade value. I'm not sure if Sims has trade value at this point. Like, not not nothing worth getting. Like a second round pick, maybe, if anything. Like, I almost feel like as much as people don't like Sims, like he's not playing. He's like a cheap backup center who's been here for a while. So even if you like, all right, Ariel is here, that's the guy you want to go with. Like Sims is so cheap, unless you need another roster spot for something else, it's almost worth keeping him. Like if we're in dire need for another small forward or something, and we need to cut him, that's one thing. But like we have a lot of young guys in here already. So like I don't know. It's just me. He's another body right now to me. He's kind of been like a net neutral for the last few games anyway. Not terrible, not nothing jumping off the page, but not terrible. All right. He says I want to see Daniel Ward because Tibbs trying to kill OG and we can't afford to lose him. Sam, man, I'm not gonna lie. It was a part of the game where the Knicks were up like 28 to 30, and OG was still in the game running with the rookies. And my brain, I'm like, yo, put Combe in, dog. Like, what is up? Was Tibbs be Tibbs sometimes? I don't understand it. We were already up by 25 plus points. OG Anunoby is probably our most injury prone Nick in rotation. He did not need to be in the game running with the garbage time people with 6 minutes left. He should have been taken out for sure. For sure. And I don't really complain about minutes on this channel. You never really heard me talk about that, but that kind of stood out to me for sure. All right, all right. Shout out to the chat. Knicks Nation said they scored 20 points on Sims afternoon. Let's see these plus minus because plus minus tells the story. Because if you're not a scorer and you have a positive plus minus, that means you're playing defense. Sims -2. All right, so maybe it's something I missed with Sims. -2, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 assist, 4 offensive rebounds, which is pretty good. So maybe it was a good offensive rebound tonight. Maybe who was he matched up with tonight? It is what it is. Sims lives to see another day. He's not getting traded anytime soon. All right, yo. Good win overall. Knicks beat the Bucks 116-94. Good win, something that we needed after a two-game losing streak. This Knicks team, we don't lose three in a row, and we was not starting today. So I'm glad we got this win. Next game up Tuesday. Knicks have a layover. No, next game up is Pacers on Sunday. I'm sorry. Knicks play the Pacers on Sunday at 5. The Pacers undoubtedly should be pissed because we gave them a smacking. So be back. We'll be here for a post-game show at 5 versus the Pacers. And you already know the deal. It's gonna be Miles Turner versus Cat. It's gonna be a good matchup. Last time Cat had a pretty good game. Last time Macau shut down the head of the snake of the Pacers, and Tyrese Halliburton held him to 0 points. Mikal Bridges' best game of the season happened to be against the Pacers. The Pacers kind of play smaller guards. This is probably the ideal matchup for Mikal Bridges, who can kind of live in the post and get his points that way. So I expect to see Mikal Bridges have a really good game, and hopefully we win 2 games in a row and start to string some games together because we have the Pacers coming up on Sunday. And then we also have the 76ers coming up on Tuesday. So definitely be back here on Sunday for these Pacers and Tuesday versus versus the 76ers. And the 76ers, their 76ers game, Embiid should be coming back. But Maxey, I believe, will be out with a hamstring. All right. Sandman asked me, Jay Ellis, would you take Lopez if the Bucks buy him out? Um, Before we got Cat, I would say yes. At this point, I would say no. Like it creates type of a log jam at center for us. Um, you know what it is? I still feel like we need Mitch to make everything work really to another level. And although Cat gives us the offense, Mitch gives us the defense, and I feel like he gives us a little bit more. He gives us more defensive versatility than Lopez did. Offense to us, to me, is not the problem. To me, the problem right now is defense. So if we didn't have Cat, yes, but we have Cat, so I don't think there's a need for us to have Lopez. And Grill says Sims guarded Giannis. Sims guarded Giannis in spots, and so did Josh Hart. Josh Hart as well. Gregory Lee says, I just want to know where is that mid-range Sims was working on in the summer. Yeah, he has not shot one mid-range the entire season. The only thing I will say is I did see a nice little seal turn. I saw a nice little post up in the beginning of the first quarter. I couldn't even believe that Jalen Brunson fed him for a post up. Jalen Brunson never looks for Sims for a post up at all. But Sims had his man pinned under the basket, turned, gave a little hook shot. He's definitely working on that as well. So I'm glad he's able to get that off. I don't think you're going to see that mid range shot all game. I kind of feel like Tibbs will pull him if he even shoots above the foul line. And if he does shoot it, he better make it because if he misses it, Cat's coming right back in, probably. Shoot, even aerial. Fritz has a Fritz with the tidbit says Knicks can't take Lopez if he's bought out because we're in the first apron. Oh, that's for sure. That is for sure. I forgot about that we're so close. If we buy him out, if they buy him out, we're in the first apron, so it prevents us from picking up wave players. It's part of the new CBA rules. Well, yeah, Fritz is absolutely right about that. All right. All right, cool. That's the show, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And join me when we have the full crew. Hopefully, we have more people. Shout out to Lee who had to do some work. Ryan G said he'll be back soon, and hopefully we'll have the full squad, or at least close to it, on Sunday for Knicks versus Pacers at 5 o'clock again. If you like that show, hit that like button. Super chats are also welcome. It helps keep the lights on, keep it going. And yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Yeah, Jam Man said short and sweet. Yeah, we know when it's one person, it's short and sweet. There's no back and forth going on. There's no debating. Is what I say. What I say is my say. Is my say or the highway. Uh, I could debate with you guys in the chat though, but it seems like everybody's kind of chill. There's no propaganda. There's no fire tips. There's no fire tips or none of that. None of that. All right. What there will be though is a fire Doc Rivers. Look at that though. I'll keep my eye on that. The way the Bucks have been performing, the way they've been losing, I would definitely keep an eye on Doc Rivers for sure. This is because his job is on. Yeah, his job is on the line. All right. That's the show, guys, though. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you, Sam, man. Tune in on Sunday for Knicks versus Pacers. And I'll catch you next time. I don't have any sound effects. So I actually will be doing the show from here for next week. And until then, it'll just be the way it is. I hope you guys enjoy the breakdown. That's the show. We out of here. Peace.
York, New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.